Thanks to this society, I substitute in some small way a legendary leader, Dr. Kiran Walia, who actually all of us like very much. And she has a vision, and that's why I think you had her join this meeting. It was a pleasure for me to come. I wish I was one of the delegates and learned a lot. The morning lecture and the scientific program was really very, very impressive. I have been asked to wear a second cap, not because of any other reasons, but by God's design. And when I look at the Medical Council of India, I have some messages to take back from you. And I was asking about the journal from Dr. Chawla. I read several years ago a story of a young girl. I think it was published in 2006 in International Journal of Thoracic Surgery or so. This small girl in a small town near Austria was traveling with her parents. It was a winter night and she went into a pit. So the parents jumped along with the mobile, they got the heli-cervix, and within 10 minutes the girl was shifted to the small district hospital. But by the time she reached, she was blue. She was immediately put on a heart-lung bypass. She was rescued to some extent, but the chest X-ray in 2 hours showed she had absolutely drowned. She was put on a membrane oxygenator. She came out, but she didn't wake up. So they did a hole and took out all the stuff, and the girl went home in 2 weeks' time in a small district hospital in Austria. It was not Vienna. And then this beautiful article with an editorial wrote, there were 176 checkpoints in the ICU, and these people did 173 correctly. So the girl woke up. And I was very happy when I saw your protocol book coming. And I hope we have all these manuals for us so we don't make mistakes, the paramedics, the nursing people, and of course residents and staff. We should know how exactly, the complications. Yesterday I met one of the best liver surgeons, one of my colleagues, who had an injury when he was coming out of the plane. He was taken up, he got a transplant, but nobody listened to him that he had a pain here. He is a professor. After a month, he went after the transplant also, he went and they found there was a big hematoma, which was never looked into, and I was quite depressed on that. He said, I have some pain, but nobody bothered about that. When I look back into my reflection, all these things, I realized what an intensivist or a critical care guy is. He is master of all. Not jack of all, he is master of all. To me, an intensivist or a critical care guy knows everything about all specialties. That's a challenging job. I sometimes feel it's not possible. But I think we expect the intensivist to know everything, the critical care guy to know everything. So I thought we should develop this specialty, and me and my other board members looked into it. So we decided 200 trauma centers are coming in the country, but where are the people? So we decided to launch a new program, MS in Trauma and General Surgery. This is a reality. This has been notified by the council. We also realize emergency medicine and critical care are different. Emergency medicine while you are in the ER room. So now there is an emergency medicine which is a separate department, a specialty. And I'm told by Dr. Khilnani here, there is a need for PEDS, critical care. And I actually looked into the program, and I realized there is a tremendous need. So much is to be done in PEDS in critical care. And I hope and I assure you, any such request from your society to build up the capacity for the country In whatever limited time we are, I propose I will do that. We want excellence. The Council in last 10 months have done a complete reform of the undergraduate and postgraduate curriculum. Just to tell you, about 300 people work, the best professors in the country work. The program for UG reform, how to integrate competence, the internship becomes a part of your thing, how are different outcome measures available, all was finished by December. It was placed on website on 28 December. Till 7th February, we got several thousand comments from societies, media, students. All that has been looked into. 19th of February, we will conclude. We hope to launch a new curriculum. And in the new curriculum, the critical care has a role. We have thought that the basic life support and the advanced life support must be mandatory. Everyone who passes out must know how to handle these critical care issues. However, if the society has some more suggestions, we would be very happy to include them into the UG or the postgraduate curriculum. I was very happy to see in your program issues related to ethics. And I saw how the society is looking into ethics with industry, ethics into other areas of equipments and others. But I have some suggestions on ethics. Not this is the right forum, but since you look into ICUs and I see TMH or anywhere, you have 70% people who die, maybe less. But what do you do to the organs? Have the critical people, society people thought, why can't you use these organs for something better? Can't they be transplanted? Can't you save lives in that? Can't you tie up with people that every critical care must have an organ transplant team then and there? See, I can't save this, but I can save that. I think if you join hands, you will make a world of difference. And one of my dreams was, how do 20 years down the line, you are having hospitals just doing transplants, like you do TKR today, knee replacements. You will need to have organ transplants everywhere. We do cell therapies there. We have therefore accepted a new discipline of organ transplant anesthesia. So there is a DM in organ transplant anesthesia, which in a way supplements that you also do critical care, you also do anesthesia, but there is a guy who can do organ transplant then and there. So I would like you to think of a bridge where every ICU has this as part and parcel of life beyond death. And if you include that, it might really help the country. In US, in 2 states, earlier the organ donation rates were to the tune of 0.6, and now they have gone above 50% from ICUs. So my request will be to look into this. We, the liver people, want to see how ICUs are there. So I was looking at all your SOFA and Delta sofas and all that. There are no good scores for people because in everywhere you have liver as part of your sepsis or SOFA organ failure. But a guy comes with liver failure, what do? So there is a need for thinking beyond it. I also have some suggestions for people at large. I was told by Dr. Khilnani, and I actually noticed from the program, that it is the private setup which has driven the healthcare in critical care medicine. There are very few government hospitals which have this. So I will take this as an educational exercise. I will see that we have 314 colleges. With our coming in, the request for new colleges is 85 this year, and increase in seats is 104. The country is for an expansion. So we have to see that when we increase the colleges, we have quality. Our aim is that the undergraduates and postgraduate seats become same, so that nobody has to go out. We have 35,000 UGs and about 19,000 PGs, which will become a cylindrical model. But when we are looking into these new issues, I am very careful that we will include critical care at all levels. It's just not the critical care medicine guy. Critical care must be every specialty, whether it is cancer, whether it is tuberculosis, whether it is hematology. So my request to the society is, when we are increasing, please give us specifics. You are a hematologist, you are surgeons, you are physicians. Please, from your area, your branch, give us the curricular part for us to include into, as let's say doing MS orthopedics, but he must also have some critical care element. So it's my dream, it's my desire that everyone who passes out at least has basic critical care knowledge. He can handle the specialties of his area. Of course, there is a neurosurgery ICU, there is this ICU, but the basic guy should also be able to handle that. So your society can give us idea. That's a 2-week capsule in MS orthopedics as critical care part, and that is essential for us. So I leave you with these few suggestions, bridging with the organ donation, transplant teams, to have your new curricula for us to look into that and tell us. Believe me, you can send me a mail. I get about 13 to 1500 mails a day, but I look into all of them in a sort of manner. So if you have any suggestions for us to make critical care more relevant to the country or to the world at large, please write to us. And I thank you for inviting, and I wish you all the very best. This 5-year program, I wish I was a delegate, but maybe next time I will be a delegate. Thank you.